Well, I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Well, I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Well, it's hard to tell, I know your love's in vain. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out the Rolling Stones version of Love in Vain, originally recorded, of course, by the great Robert Johnson, and I will touch on his version as well, but mostly I want to be focusing on Keith Richards' absolutely sublime guitar work on this song. It's really, really beautiful. Just everything about it, the way he plays it and little variations, is super sweet. Lots of stuff to be learned. I'm going to take you through the intro and the first verse. What you'll find is in all of the subsequent versions, he's playing for the most part the same kind of thing. I will show you a couple of the key variations, the things that are different in the instrumental section, but they're only slightly different, and what I'd encourage you to do is get what you can from his beautiful work and then kind of muck around with it and come up with your own version based on his genius. So to play this song, we need to put the capo here on the 3rd fret. I always feel like the 3rd fret is a funny place for the capo. I always find the tuning a little off. So do remember to put the capo on and then tune the guitar, okay? Don't tune the guitar, then put the capo on. It's very unlikely it's going to sound sweet. So pop the capo on, and the notes that you'll be looking for will be G, C, F, B flat or A sharp, depending on what your tuner says, D and G, from the thicker string to the thinner string there. So make sure you get your guitar nicely in tune. Let's get to that close up. So the intro. Before we get any further, I think I should point out that this song is in 6/8. So I'm going to be counting all the way through, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Heavier accent there on the 1 and the 4. So it's kind of 2 triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. But for ease of count, I'm going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, some of you might say, oh, I think this is in 12/8. Well, there could be some arguments there, but I find it a lot easier for teaching it to think of it in 6. So that's what I'm going to be sticking with. So the first 2 bars are based around a simple D chord. Most of you are probably familiar with that. The picking pattern, though, is going to be 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string. So we're literally starting on the 4th string and going down and back up again. Only that 2nd note is delayed, so it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4. So there you get that little skip. Dum, da, dum, da, da, da. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. He pretty much only does that on the first 2 bars, right? So D, and again. Goes into this absolutely lovely lick. Okay, it's based off around an E minor chord. You play the thicker string, then 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, sliding up 2 frets. 1st finger going down in the 3rd fret, and of course I know that this is really the 6th fret, but it's 3 frets above the capo. Everything I'm describing is relative to the capo position. Then 2nd finger, sliding back to the 2nd fret, so you get that little drag back. The open 3rd string, and then 2nd fret on the 4th string. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 and 3. When you're learning these things, extract it. And try not to hit wrong strings like I just did. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. The fingering there is quite important because it leads so nicely into... this nice little C chord. We play the 5th string, then we're going to lift off 2nd finger, play the middle 2 strings, and then hammer that 2nd finger down. Then we're going to play 3rd and 2nd strings and hammer 2nd finger on now on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And then we play those same 2 strings with the 2nd finger off. Now we get, this time we're playing the 4th string, hammering that 2nd finger down and playing the G string. It does that twice, and then it goes to a G. It's worth noting that Keith has added in a couple of 8th notes here, and while I think it's important to understand rhythm and understand the count, there are times like this where it's just better to listen to it. It's a lot easier to learn it than trying to count it. It is kind of free time here as well. I don't think it's exactly metronomically correct, and it doesn't need to be to work great. So I would recommend listening to the original recording and trying to copy that, but if you don't play it exactly the same and you play it your way, that's totally cool as well. The key things here, remember that we've got the C. C 2nd, that's the added bit, right? And you can slow it down a little bit. Then we're going to this G, which is also kind of free time. It's just a G bass note. Down strum thinnest 3 or 4 strings, play the thinnest string again, then 1st finger goes down the 1st fret, and you do like a little up pick. Then you're playing, little finger goes back down 3rd fret on the thinnest string, you just play that 1 note, and then we go to some D arpeggios. That's where the timing becomes really important there. So for this bit with the C, timing is easy. Now you're picking up the time. One more time from the C, 5th string, middle strings with the hammer, 2nd and 3rd strings with the hammer, play it with the fingers off though. Little inner strings lick. This is a cool lick. You should know how to do that anyway. G, G7, G note, then to a D arpeggio. Now for this D arpeggio, he's just playing it straight up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's worth getting those D chords in time because that's really where you're setting the tempo of the song. That first bit can be a little bit freer. Once you start doing that, that's setting your tempo. That's telling the singer where they're going to come in. So it's really important that you get that consistent. I wouldn't play around with those couple of bars much at all. So let's run through that intro all of the way through nice and slow. 4, 5, 6. And now we're into the verse. So the verse is starting off with a G chord. We only need the 3rd finger down really on the thickest string, the 3rd fret. Probably you want to mute the thinner string or put the little finger down there just in case you happen to hit that note because you don't want the open E string ringing out. That won't sound great here. So the pattern here now, we're playing the thicker string. So I should just name the string. So 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the count. Strings 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. It does that actually 4 times. So a fighter to the station. Now it goes a little off piece. So we go to a G7, 1st finger down, little fingers come off, and we're going to play strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 3, 2. So that again, thinner string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd. Again, up, 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 down, 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 up, up, up. Now here, that first one is a bit of a strum, and then you play the 2nd string again. 3rd string, thicker string, And now we're going to go up, 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 down, down, down. Now this next bar is a little bit weird. Little finger's going down the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. We play that first, then we play that and the thinner string together, then the thinner string on its own, then 1st finger goes down 1st fret of the thinner string, then we play 3rd fret of the the 2nd string, open thinner string, 1st fret. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. Then we played the 4th string, 3rd string, then thinner string, 2nd string, and 2nd finger goes down in the 2nd fret of the 5th string, which is leading to the C chord. This is by far the weirdest bar in the whole thing, and it took me the most practice because it's unconventional. It doesn't really have a pattern like most of the other things do. He plays this pattern a little differently in each verse as well. So much of it sounds like he's arranged it. He's really thought about exactly what's being played, except for this bar, which is a little different, like I said, every take. So again, I would encourage you to learn this version exactly, especially if you ever want to play it and it's like people go, oh yeah, that sounds like just like the record. But in those subsequent versions, I've never played it the same way. I always kind of muck around a little bit in that bar. As long as you keep in time, I think that's really important. It's kind of a free-for-all there. You can definitely experiment. But I would spend a little bit of time getting this right, because it will just take a little bit of repetition for your fingers to kind of figure it out and getting used to where the rhythm falls, because it kind of feels weird. It is even though, so you got this da 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 da. The notes fall like that, so it's the notes that are complicated, not the rhythm. Let's go through that again. So we've got our G7 that from the bar before. Little finger goes down on the 2nd string. We play 2nd string, 2nd and thinner string together, thinner string on its own, 1st finger 1st fret on the thinner string, then the 2nd string, open, 1st fret on the thinner string, then 4th string, 3rd string, thinner string, 2nd string, 2nd finger 2nd fret on the 5th string, which is leading to the C. Again. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then to a C. So this is a C chord, and we play 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So straight up and down, middle 4 strings. Then straight up. 3, 2, this is the 5th string, and now we're going to a D7 over an F sharp bass. Now I used my thumb here. If you really struggle with that, you could use this alternate fingering using the 2nd finger over on the bass note. That one works too. I prefer this fingering here. So using the thumb on the 2nd fret of the thicker string, then 4th string, 3rd string, and now we've got a little hammer on again, open B string, hammering the 1st finger down 1st fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It's just I wouldn't worry about the count of that, just think of it as happening on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go all of the way through just up to that point now before it gets more complicated again. So we start with a G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it does that 4 times. 3, 4. Now the slightly weirder bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, triplet to the C. F sharp bass, D7 with an F sharp bass. Okay, one more time. I've got a feeling that I don't think I played that exactly right. Let's do that one more time. So starting with the G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Another 2 times here on the G. Another variation, the G7. Now the weird bit. Climbing up to the C. To the D7 with an F sharp bass. G. Okay, this time we're playing string 6, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3. D. So here, now it's D, straight up. Now we've got a little second finger hammer on. We play the thinner string and hammer on the second finger. Now this note here, he doesn't leave that finger down because he's changing chords to the G. So you end up, that last note there's a G. If you played it as a D, it wouldn't really matter, but to make it just like the record, you play that as an open G. Then G. Okay, so this one's a little complicated. So we play thicker string, fourth string, second string. Now this has definitely got to be an up pick. You put the first finger down on the first fret, second finger down in the second fret of the fourth string, and that definitely wants to be an up pick. Okay, I'm using up picks for most of that, I think. Down, down, up, 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 up. Don't know why exactly. Just feels like that's what should be done there. Down, down, second string. First and second fingers down with an up pick starting from the second string. Little finger still down on the third fret of the thinner string. Thinner string, second finger. Then we've still got our G, second string, third string, fourth string, thickest, fourth, third. Okay? Now we move to a D chord with that little hammer on. Now I'm showing you like this, where I'm playing straight up, because that's the way it's played most of the way through the song. But the very first time I think Keith plays, I think he misses the second, the third string and plays the second instead. So it goes, I think, but again. Or does it really matter? I think not. Okay, now we've got our D chord, but I'm grabbing the bass note with the thumb. I'm playing thicker string, fourth, third, second, third, bass again. Now, this I guess is an E minor 7. Thicker string, fourth, third, second, open, second. And I'm saying second string, but obviously my little finger is on the third fret, so that could be a little confusing. That is second finger, second fret, fourth string, little finger, third fret on the second string. Then we go to C. And we play this time the C, sort of riff like we had in the intro, but actually keeping it in time now. Bass, exactly the same as the intro actually. So the fifth string, middle strings with the hammer on, second and third strings with the hammer on, play it off. Then the single notes version of the middle string hammer-ons. G, thicker string, fourth, third, thinner string, second string, thinner string, and then the little up strum with the first finger down, first fret, so we get the G7. Then we play the third fret on the thinner string. D. Again, this only happens once in the tune in this particular spot. He does the hammer on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how he does it nearly all the way through the song, just on that one bar. He does that and then a straight bar of the D. When you're learning a song like this, I would suggest that you take it one bar at a time. If you're using this video, just sit down, get the first bar down, learn it properly, then learn the second bar, learn that properly, make sure you can play it, then join bars 1 and 2 together, then learn the third bar, make sure that you can play that individually, then join it together and play 1, 2 and 3, then learn the fourth bar, play 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time you just learn one new bar of material and then join it onto the stuff that you've learned already. Now, it does mean that you're going to be slightly more confident with the stuff at the beginning than the stuff at the end, but with this one, most of the tricky stuff is right in the middle. So what I think you're going to find is that you learn it bar by bar, gradually piecing it all together. Then when you can play it from beginning to end, you play it all of the way through and make a note of any spots that you feel are a little bit weak, where you're not certain about the rhythm or where it doesn't feel right, you're picking the wrong strings, and then you extract that one bit that you're finding really difficult and practice that over and over, and then play through the whole thing again. Hopefully you'll iron that problem area out and you look for the next bit that needs a little bit of work. It's exactly the way I work on stuff myself. I just gradually build stuff up and then start looking for, oh, like that bit needs a little bit more polishing, that one's not quite right, or that feels awkward. Then I work on that one little bit and then go back through playing it all of the way through. So let's go through now and I'll just play it for you nice and slow all of the way through if I can. If you're going to sing it as well, it is the kind of thing where you have to automate it. So this was, again, one of those ones where I had to transcribe it first, write it down, learn it, think about how it's going to go, look at the fingering, make some decisions on what sort of picking I was going to use. Because once I'm going to automate it, once I'm going to say, right, I'm going to sing it now, I've got to think about the singing because I'm not a great singer still. I've got to think more about singing than I do about the guitar playing. So I have to automate the guitar enough to be able to concentrate on the singing. There are little points, though, with this, like that little weird bar early in the intro where my focus will shift to that little bit and I'm kind of holding one note with the voice and I'm really thinking about trying to pick that right, especially in this kind of lesson context. If I was playing it for real, I'd be less bothered about getting the notes right, I suspect. But anyway, let me have a go at playing it nice and slow all of the way through so you can see clearly how it's all put together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bars on the G. 3, 4. Variation. Weird bit. Fly me up to the C. Down to the F sharp. G, D, G with the sus, D, F sharp bass, down, C, D. Well, I didn't quite manage to keep it as slow as I'd hoped, but hopefully it was slow enough to get the idea and see how it's all pieced together. So as I said, if you listen through the whole song, it is mostly these parts. There are some little variations played at different points from Keith. The one thing that is a little bit different, which happens in the kind of the solo sections, and I think the last verse, is this movement of the bass note in the first chord, which sounds, well, weird on its own, but it sounds beautiful in context. So what's going on there is he's playing the G, and then playing an F bass note. So G/F, G with an F bass note. Alternates between those. And then we get into all of those little variations. So that's one little thing that's a slight quirk. The other thing that I'm going to teach you that I feel is a kind of a key moment of the tune is the very ending. I've always loved the ending of this song. I've loved this song for most of my life, since my early teens, and the ending of it's just always had something kind of special about it. So let me show you that as well. So it goes from the G, and it does here D. It's just like it's a weird ending. So open fourth to D7, playing the 4th string, 3rd string, 1st finger 1st fret, little finger then goes down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, then playing the thinner string, and finishing with the G7, which isn't even the key of the song. It's great. But it sounds resolved, it sounds finished, I love it. It really is a special song, this. It's a really nice one to play, really nice one to sing along. Most Stones fans will be loving this song. Lovely one to play, lots of things to learn. Really great for your picking accuracy, because your picking hand is moving a lot and it's not always consistent patterns, which makes it a lot harder. I'm sure you're going to find that little sticky bar there. It's weird because it's not a pattern that we're used to playing. It kind of skips around. But again, a little bit of practice on it will work out pretty nice. The Robert Johnson version is interesting because it's a lot more like a kind of a 12-bar blues. I think he's playing it in the key of A flat, although we're never sure about the tuning with Robert Johnson songs. It might have been tuned up a whole load, and with the capo at the 2nd fret. It's hard to tell. I believe some people have done some research into listening to the harmonics of it, but to be honest, I'm not really familiar with it. But it's generally a little bit more like a 12-bar blues, so you end up having this. I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. Yeah, and I followed her to the station with a suitcase in my hand. But it's hard to tell when all your love's in vain, all your love's in vain. Okay, that's not an accurate Robert Johnson transcription, just to give you a kind of rough idea of what's going on in the Robert Johnson version. It's a little bit more that feel, a bit more like a 12-bar feel. Love the way the Stones have kind of reinterpreted it as the ballad with the picked out notes individually. It feels better. Very rarely do I say that I think a cover song is better than the original, and I'm a massive fan of Robert Johnson, but I really love what the Stones did with this tune, and I would encourage any guitar player to learn this one. I think there's a lot to learn from it. It's really fun, really beautiful piece of blues / rock and roll kind of history. Really hope you enjoy this. If you're enjoying my blues lessons, do head on over to the website. I've got tons of lessons about blues, and do go and check out my new blues immersion course as well. It's shaping up to be a real cracker. Have yourself an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye bye.